All right, folks, welcome to Game 2 of Sunday, Malice in the Mountains. Here we have Wasatch Roller Derby versus the California Derby Galaxy Supernovas B team. That's a mouthful. I am joined on the mic for this game by Bad Cop, who is one of our Wasatch Juniors travel team skaters. Say hello, Bad Cop.
Hello.
We'll take a look at our roster for our officials for this game right now. See who we have working today. Starting off with our non-skating officials, our head NSO is Kat, also our jam timer. Penalty line trackers Data and Sujo. That's a dream team at that position right there. Got scorekeepers Margie Ram, Fickle Bitch, Scoreboard Op, Danger Muffin. Penalty box manager Kiss Off, box timers Whamdolph and Knoxford, alt NSOs Dino. Once again, stats Bionic NB.
And our skating officials are Guinness, Noah Fallon, Fighting Girlfriend, Damian Mistress, Treble Maker, Saren Gasp, and Screw Lucy.
Thanks to all of our officials here this weekend, helping us put on this tournament. One name that we have not said on the mic because he's not on the rosters is our tournament head referee, Princess Albert, who has been doing a very good job of wrangling everybody here. And for those of you who are interested, Hometown Throwdown going on in Portland this weekend. They will start gameplay around noon Pacific time, which is half an hour ago. Try to get some score updates on those games for you as well. Looks like our teams are ready. Our officials are just having a final chat there with head referee Guinness, making sure that they have their game plan in place. Supernovas. Starting off first jam here on the jammer line for Wasatch Roller Derby, another former Wasatch junior roller, Apollo number 89. And for the Supernovas, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, Bully Elliott. And first jam is off. Bully kind of fed Apollo to the Supernovas blockers there, but Apollo manages to skirt around the outside, turn one, lead jammer Wasatch. Bully Elliott just getting past Doppelganger in the front of the pack there. Now out. Apollo jumps the apex. Didn't quite make it. Did he get the call off on time? He did. 0-0 jam. Nice job by both jammers there.
Alrighty, for our second jam of the game, we have 46. Huck lined up with 318. The Animal.
And, welcome to
They
the
both dive
13
into
folks
the
watching
inside,
our,
and it looks like Animal's out first. Huck's being recycled by those Supernovas. Huck is pushing against that wall.
Animal tied up there with Eve, Tootsie, and Berserker. That's not a line I'd want to have to go against. 1 to beat now, past Tootsie, out for 4 points, says our jam ref fighting girlfriend.
The Animal comes in to try and score some more points. And it looks like Huck is still stuck in that wall.
Maybe
and
not
makes
now.
it through for their initial pass.
Animal getting the instruction from the bench coach to call it, does so, stopping Huck from being able to score 7 points. Supernovas.
All right, for this next jam, we have 47. Bridget lined up with 79. That is Detroit Demon. Bridget goes to the out and is recycled. Bridget makes it through and is lead.
Detroit Demon got 1 to beat here. He's now out on a scoring pass.
And Bridget calls it.
Two points for Wasatch. 2-7 now the score. Number 11 for the Supernovas, Knives on the line with number 89, Apollo again. A lot of happy smiles on this track this morning. It's a good thing. Knives kind of used Apollo as a little bit of a bulldozer there, but Apollo skirts around again. Turn 1 corner on the outside. Lead jammer, Wasatch. Nice hit there by number 42, Oxytocin, to take Apollo out and recycle him. Knives now out on scoring trip, almost in the pack. Both jammers down at the head of the turn there. 3 points for White. 3 points for Wasatch. 3-3 jam, 5-10 now.
Looks like we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Bully Elliott lined up for the Derby the Supernovas, and 46. Huck lined up for Wasatch. They're both in those walls fighting to get some points.
Huck getting knocked out of bounds by Bacon Stripper, getting recycled, but both jammers coming back. Aerial assault bringing Bully Elliott back to the back of the pack as well to meet up with Rails and Eve there. A little bit of a tumble, trying to go back. Got a jam ref down in the middle there. Sushi's going to be all right, though. Bully Elliott manages to work past Eve and Rails, out on a scoring trip now. Huck still stuck in that pass, initial pass, I believe. Let's see if we got the call off on time. Not quite. 2 points, says Fighting Girlfriend.
All right, we have 4-7. That is Bridget for Wasatch. Lined up with 318, the Animal. Both jammers slam into those walls. And it looks like it's Animal who's out first. And Animal calls it, hoping that Bridget's not going to be able to score any points. And this was a 0-0 jam.
Both of those jammers just booking it around the track, trying to get in first. Nice job by Bridget getting in front there and forcing the call off. Next up, we have Detroit Demon, number 79 for the Supernovas, number 89, Apollo for Wasatch.
They're both going to the inside. Both fighting those walls. Apollo's recycled by 4-2-1. That is Scarlet Bronte.
One more time, meeting Scarlet up there at the front. Apollo knocked to the inside, recycled back. Detroit Demon still working away against those Wasatch blockers. Bip going to come back and see if she can give some help to Apollo.
And it looks like it's Detroit Demon who gets the lead and calls it off, hoping Apollo won't score any points.
Once again, the Wasatch Jammer out ahead of the lead jammer, forcing the call off.
All right, we have 7-1-7 Aerial Assault lined up with 11. That is Knives. Knives goes in. Aerial goes out.
Aerial managed to break up that wall for just a second, but didn't quite get it. I think whistle from the outside pack ref. Yes, that's going to be a track cut on Aerial Assault. 30 seconds to sit down and think about that, giving Knives a chance to put some points on the board here. Facing off there in the front against Fleetwood Smack and Tootsie, but manages to break through. Out for lead jammers, Knives.
Looks like Knives gets through without touching that Wasatch wall.
The Supernovas coach yelling to his team. Aerial Assault is now returned to the track from the penalty box. Working away now against Supernovas blockers at the back of the pack. Knives kind of hung up by Wasatch here in turn 3. Got Hot Toady in there, number 89, trying to do a little bit of offense for Knives. Still stuck back there behind. That's Fleetwood Smack, even Tootsie up here in this tripod. Do have Taco Del Mar at the back trying to help Aerial out, maybe looking for a star pass, but no, Aerial is knocked out of bounds, recycled back behind. Can't pass the star if you're out of bounds. Star pass is now complete to Taco Del Mar, but the jam will expire on time. 8-0 jam, Supernovas.
Alrighty, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Bully Elliott lined up with 46. Huck. They both go to the outside. Both looking for some holes in those walls. Huck is driving up the seam of that wall. Getting some help with rails. From rails. Bully Elliott is recycled by the Wasatch wall, and it looks like Huck is out first. So lead jammer status for Wasatch. Bully Elliott is still fighting for that initial pass, and it looks like they just got it.
Huck
Huck
now
is-
out just along the inside line there on one skate. Calls the jam. 4 points Wasatch. Nice jam from Huck there.
All right. Wasatch has sent out 47 Bridget to jam. And it looks like the Supernovas have sent out 318. That's the Animal. They both go to the out. Bridget's recycled. And the Animal's out first.
A little bit of a pile up on the inside line, back by the jammer line. Bridget manages to take advantage of that. Escapes on the outside, now catching up to Annabelle, who will call off the jam, put a stop to that.
We've got 89 Apollo lined up with 79 Detroit Demon.
Not a great position for Tootsie to be in here, but I think they can handle it.
Detroit Demon's out.
Help coming from the penalty box now here for Apollo, but Apollo taken to the outside by number 26. That is Agrodite for Supernovas. Demon now working front of the pack. Apollo's out the front now. Supernovas will shut that jam down. Stop Wasatch from having a chance to score. Four more points for Supernovas to bring their score to 28 to Wasatch's 12.
We've got Huck lined up with knives.
Wasatch has got a pretty experienced wall out there. They're not going to be easy to break apart. That's Eve, Bip, and Doppelganger. Aerial assault back here wearing the pivot. Trying to help Huck out. Huck escapes on the outside. Knives gets recycled. Lead jammer Wasatch.
Huck goes to the inside, trying to score some points. Knives is still pushing on that wall.
Huck manages to stay in bounds there. Nice little move just to keep the wheels on the track. 4 more points for Wasatch.
Looks like there was a star pass to,
50, wasn't it?
I believe number 50. Yeah, 50, which is Shira Badass.
Shira taking a hard hit there on the 2-3 straightaway. Goes down, is recycled by Eve and Ariel and Dopp. Huck now through again for 4 more points for Wasatch. 8 points total for Huck so far in this jam.
The Wasatch wall doing a really good job of stopping Shira Badass.
Huck just stepped over the apex there for another 4 points. Shira Badass still stuck behind this Wasatch wall, but maybe have some momentum here, trying to get around Eve, and does. Supernovas now out on scoring trip, and Huck coming through. That is 4 trips through for Huck. 16 points. Tie game, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, for this next gem, we have 47 Bridget lined up for Wasatch, and 5, 6, 7, 8 Bully Elliott lined up for the Supernovas.
For those of you watching on the live stream here, we are watching the chat there. If you have questions, comments, want to give a shout out to a skater or an official or anybody else, hit us up.
They're both going into those walls.
Bridget trying to work side to side here, but the Supernovas blockers are right there with her.
And it's Bully who's out first.
But now Bridget escapes up the outside line, got a nice little offensive block from Fleetwood Smack, her former teammate from juniors. Both of those skaters just aged out this last year. Bully Elliott out for 4, calling off the jam.
4-2 jam. The next line's up, that's 89 Apollo lined up with 318, the Animal.
Both packs again lined up right back here against the jammer line. Apollo going to dive right into that pack. No fear in that person. Apollo once again loves the outside of turn 1. Lead jammer Wasatch. Nice little hop by Apollo. Did he make it? Yes, he did. Jam Ref Sushi says 4 points. Did he get the call off on time? I think he did. Yes. And that, folks, is going to be a lead change for us. 34-32 Wasatch.
We have a new face jamming for Wasatch. That is 983 Eve Seiko.
You may recognize that name from being my co-announcer in the last game. Thanks once again to Eve for helping me out with that.
We've got 79 out there, too. That is Detroit Demon. And
Eve manages to tiptoe down the inside line there. Lead jammer Wasatch.
Looks like Eve is also the captain for this game.
It's a pretty good mix of experience and new blood on the bench at Wasatch in a little bit different ways. Like I mentioned before, we've got some junior skaters that came up from the juniors program and are now in their first adult games. But most of them, like Bridget, have been skating since they were little, and they probably know more about roller derby than half the other people on the team. Aerial assault's going to go take a 30-second break. It's like a late penalty also on number 29, Supernovas. That's going to be Hieronymus Bash taking his seat.
Looks like Bridge is going to be lined up with Knives.
Starting to see a few more faces in the crowd here, a few more butts in seats in the bleachers. It's nice to see. Welcome to all of you folks that are just getting here. Be a good game for you to watch. Nice move by Bridget out there along the outside. Lead jammer Wasatch once again. That's Knives there for Supernovas. Out on a scoring trip. Bridget skates by backwards. Not going to call it off. We're going to run this one. Knives through for 4 as well, about half a track behind Bridget. Bridget, apex jump, 4 more points.
Knife takes a big hit by, I think that was Witch Slapped.
Think so. Bridget now around for another scoring pass. 4 more on the board for Wasatch. Knives does have 4 points, and I imagine has some more in the pocket of Jamref fighting girlfriend right now. But it's Bridget one more time. Big hit from Dot. Knocked Knives down to the infield. Bridget comes skittering around backwards, gets knocked out of bounds by Hieronymus Bash, who's looking for a cut call. It does not come. Some commentary from the big hit from Kuda there at the end of the jam, knocking Bridget out, but not before Bridget puts up 20 points for Wasatch Roller Derby, 7 points for the Supernovas, bringing our score to 57-39.
We're going to line up 5, 6, 7, 8. That's Bully Elliott and 89 Apollo, but it looks like there is an official timeout.
Yeah, looks like the referees need to have a brief chat about the goings on in the last jam. Take this opportunity to go through some of our sponsors and vendors here. Beehive Skate Shop, Salt Lake City's inline derby and quad skate shop. Follow them at Beehive Skate Shop for updates on inventory, skating events in Salt Lake Valley. Also like to thank Einstein's Bagels for providing sustenance for our officiating staff this weekend. Vendors here, Disco Bliss is back today. Hellskate, Supernatural, Roller Derby, Art Comic, and Film Project. Looks like we have converted this official timeout into an official review for the Supernovas. They have some questions for head ref Guinness. We'll get the lowdown from Genetic here shortly.
If you like this, there's more derby going on. November 18th, Uinta Madness is having a season closer. First whistle is at 6 o'clock. Skate Mare Before Christmas is a charity bout benefiting the Road Home Family Shelter. They will be donating the proceeds and collecting non-perishable food items at the door. Beehive Skate Revolution has their season closer on December 9th, and they will be hosting some players from Colorado. You can keep up to date on all of the events by following the Beehive Skate Revolution on all socials. Wasatch Junior Roller Derby is also having their season closer on December 2nd. Come see the Who's take on the Grinches.
Bad Cop, are you playing in that game?
Yeah, probably.
Which team are you on, do you know?
No, they haven't posted the rosters yet.
That's fair. It's always a pretty fun game, though.
Yeah. Lots of costumes and choo-choos.
Yep. Fighting Girlfriend coming over to let us know what the official review is about. The officials are still chatting, but sounds like Supernovas are asking for a cutting track penalty on number 47, Bridget, the jammer from the prior jam. I'll let you know the outcome of that as soon as I know.
All right, well, we have a second. Let's announce the teams. On Wasatch, we have Booty Queen, Doppelganger, Fleetwood Smack, Berserker, Tootsie, Off the Rails, Knuckles, Bip, Leia Hertonia, Heartbreaker, Huck, Bridget, Witch Slapped, Aerial Assault, Taco Delamere, Infinite Loop, Apollo, Katzenjammer, Eve Seiko, and Glowjob.
For the Supernovas B team, we've seen them play quite a bit this weekend. Can be better recognized. Flux Capacitor, Miss Slamthropy, Agrodite, Frightening McQueen, Hieronymus Bash, the Animal, Sharakuda, Oxytoxin, Scarlet Bronte, still love that name, Shira Badass, Killmore Girls, Bully Elliot, Idiculous Fun, Silly Goose, Mallrat, Detroit Demon, Loose Cannon, Hot Toady, and Bacon Stripper, your Supernova B team. Fighting Girlfriend bringing us the results of the official review, but head referee Guinness has not relayed that to the teams yet. So we will wait patiently until he has done that. Once again, I'd like to thank our host league, Wasatch Roller Derby, for hosting this awesome event, bringing these teams here to Utah to play some roller derby. Tournament weekends are always my favorite. As I said earlier, you get to see lots of derby friends that you don't get to hang out with often. Right. Head ref Guinness over there giving the results of the review to the coaches and captains. All right, so now that the information is out to the teams, the cut call was granted to Supernovas. Wasatch Jammer Bridget, number 47, will spend first 30 seconds of this next jam in the penalty box, giving Bully Elliott a power jam. Let's see what she can do with it. That also does mean that Supernovas will retain their review. They get a second one in this period. It's what the little plus sign at the bottom of the timeout indicator on the scoreboard means, for those of you wondering. Bip number 317 going to the 314 going to the penalty box for a forearm. She doesn't agree with it, but she never does. Bridget now out of the penalty box, met by the entire pack of Supernovas, although manages to break through, but is caught and then recycled. Bully Elliott out now on first scoring trip. 4 points, but Bridget jumps the apex out on a scoring trip herself. Berserker now ahead of the box for a sit down. Go hang out with Bip for a little while. Bridget now out, 4 points, Wasatch.
And it looks like Bully Elliott is heading to the box now.
Did not see the call from the jam ref, but I'm sure.
Which means it is a power jam for Bridget. And
Fighting Girlfriend, our jammer referee, indicating that Bully Elliott will be sitting for a full minute, 2 penalties there. But now, Bridget, in penalty, back to the box, which will release Bully Elliott. So the jammer penalty rules are potentially one of the most confusing parts of the rule set. I'd like to say that I understand it, but I don't. So I'm glad. A little technical hiccup there. Score and timing table yelling to the track to get their attention. We'll give the officials a little bit of time to reset on that. Score now 69-47. Wasatch Roller Derby in the lead.
a 12-8 score for this jam.
Nice to see the stand starting to fill up a little bit here. Some of the folks get woken up from their Sunday morning snoozes. I hope one of you brought me a mimosa. This might take just a minute to figure out exactly what we need to do to remedy the timing issue there, but so for those of you wondering what happened there is that the jam time had run out, but the jam was not whistled dead, so there was some time following the end of the actual jam that may have had an impact on the score or penalties, but looks like everything is as it was before.
So we have 717 aerial assault lined up with 318 the animal.
Ariel going to the penalty box for a forearm right off the bat there. Annie Mel still working in the front there. Lead jammer given as out of play is called by Damon Mistress. Annie Mel, nice little tiptoe down the inside line of the 2-3 straightaway, out for 4. Annie Mel doing her best to close this gap, but Ariel's back on the track, out on a scoring trip herself. NML one more time. Just gets by Tootsie in turn 3. Call the jam off before Ariel can get through. Yeah, 0 points, Wasatch. 4 more for NML. $59-69.
But it
Wasatch
looks
rolling.
like Wasatch is going to send out 89. That's Apollo. And the Supernovas are going to send out 79, Detroit Demon. They're both fighting up those seams. And it looks like Apollo's going to be out first with a little hippity hop to the inside line.
And
Detroit Demon making their initial pass.
got bounced around up the front by Dopp and Fleetwood Smack, but managed to get out. A little pile up in the back there. Back block called now on Detroit Demon. That is not what Supernovas want to see right now. Apollo with lead jammer. 4 points down already, looking for another 4, and he has them. Whole pack moving back into turn 2. Apollo fighting through the Supernova's wall now. Skirts to the outside. 4 more points, Wasatch. Apollo hits that pack hard, and bodies go flying everywhere. No whistles, so everything looked legal.
Detroit Demon is through. And Apollo calls it off with 15 points scored in that jam.
15-4 jam.
Looks like Wasatch is going to throw out 46. That's Huck. Jammer we haven't seen in a little while. And Supernovas are going to put Knives on the track. I don't think we've seen them in a while either.
But remember, it was probably the last time Huck jammed that the lead change happened here for Wasatch, and they've been on a pretty good run since then. So
I believe that was like a 20-point jam?
it was, yeah. Huck now out for lead jammer for Wasatch. Knives meets up with Berserker, who is going to get a penalty for their trouble. Direction call, I believe. Oh, Huck tries that little spin move on the inside, but cannot get by Kuda.
Huck's been sent to the penalty box.
Knives.
Which means it's a power jam for Knives.
Knives runs into Eve Seiko down to the ground, but back up again quickly. Now confronted with Bip, Berserker, and now Eve joins the fight at the front. Rails is going to come up to pivot as well.
Knives.
Still inbounds. Still fighting. Out to the outside by Rails. Bip going back, but stopped by number 89 from Supernovas. That's Hot Toady again. Great blocking from Hot Toady this weekend. Nice little move on 1 foot by Knives to get through the pack onto a scoring trip. Berserker headed to the penalty box for an out-of-play block, I believe. And Huck knocked to the outside.
And jam times runs out, and it looks like there's going to be an official review in there for Wasatch.
Let's see what Captain Eve Seiko and Coach Booty have to say to Guinness. Got a nice little cheering section over there in the turn 1-2 apex, led by some folks from Happy Valley there. I think I see Cookie and Val and Recky hanging out down there.
I see some juniors players out there for Wasatch.
This is one of those you can't take it with you reviews. As I said yesterday a couple times, you get one review per period, unless, like the Supernovas, you are successful in your review, and then you get an extra one. But Wasatch, in this case, is going to use this as a timeout, not to waste their other reviews. I think they are actually asking for something, but in my experience, this is usually I want a timeout for nothing, just for funsies review.
And you usually lost it too.
I know, always. I expected to lose. The bad thing is when the referees get to know that you're up to stuff like that, and then they just mess it all up for you. So since we are close to halftime and the building is starting to get a little bit full, we had a little bit of a traffic jam in the restrooms last game. Please remember, do give priority to the active skaters and officials who are working and playing. There are portos outside if you can. During gameplay, a little bit of a different story. Looking for a track cut here. We will await head ref Guinness's decision. Guinness says the no call will stand. Got it. Thank you, Genetic, for the update on that. Fighting girlfriend as well.
Looks like we're gonna have 5, 6, 7, 8. Bully Elliott lined up first, and they get through really quick. This will be the last jam of the period.
We are on the jam clock now. Period clock has expired. Let's see what Bully Elliott can do with Power Jam.
I believe the Wasatch jammer is Huck.
Wasatch and Supernovas now back to a full complement of blockers for this last jam. Berserker goes down. Bully Elliott sneaks through on the inside. Huck now engaged with Supernovas at the back, but pushing forward. I think, I dare say, tiny but mighty is a apt descriptor.
Just a quick announcement. We do have a birthday. It is Quiet Killer on the juniors team's birthday.
Happy birthday to Quiet Killer from the Wasatch Junior Rollers. Star pass now to Aerial Assault, who is out of the front of the pack. They're trying to shut this down. Bully Elliott working against Tootsie and Berserker. Bip on the way to the penalty box. We've got all kinds of things going on here. Jam called. That's the half.
We'll be taking a 15-minute break.
We will see y'all back here soon.
It through again, scoring 4 more points. Knives is hit out again by Aerial Assault. Follows around again, 4 more points for Wasatch Roller Derby. Follow goes to the inside, 4 more points. 16-point jam, still 30 seconds left. Apex drop to the inside. Supernovas come in to help out. Knives get through. Follows through again. Another 4 points. I believe this is the highest scoring jam we've had so far. 24 points for Wasatch. Okay, for our next jam, we have 47. That is Bridget lined up with 5, 6, 7, 8. Bully Elliott. Bully waited for a second to see if Bridget was going to run into them. Bully's trying to drive apart that Wasatch wall of Fleetwood Smack, Rails, and Doppelganger. Dopp is one of the co-head coaches for the Wasatch Junior Rollers. Bridget makes it around, getting lead jammer status for Wasatch. Looks like Bully Elliott's now making their initial pass, looking kind of exhausted. And Bridget is sent to the box, so it is a power jam for Bully Elliott. And both these jammers are going to have to jam for the full 1 minute.
Yeah, and it's Colin joining the announcements again. I had to take a few minutes and let Bad Cop take over so I could eat some food. Also, take care of our producer Backslash got the stream issues fixed, so I hope the video at home is looking good.
Well, we've got Bridget back. And Bully Elliott has scored 8 points already. Big hit out by Dopp. Bridget's through and scores 4 points. Big cheers from the Wasatch bench. Looks like Bridget scored 5 points and Bully Elliott scored 10. So it is a 132 Wasatch to 104 Supernovas.
Still very close game here. Supernovas creeping up on Wasatch's lead for sure.
Looks like there's an official timeout just to get things figured out really quick.
Looks like head ref Guinness and the jammer referees are going to come over and confer with the scorekeeping team.
But it looks like the next jam we have Eve Seiko lined up with the Animal.
And Guinness gives the go sign to Cat to get the jam started.
We've got Seiko lined up with the Animal.
Once again, both packs tight back here against the jammer line. Supernovas open a hole for NML around the outside. Yes, lead jammer. White jam ref. White jam ref.
The white jammer is lead. The Animal calls it.
A little bit of confusion on which jammer was lead there. Looks like the referees got it sorted out. Supernova's coaching staff out to chat with jam refs.
Looks like for the next jam, we're going to have 46.
No. No. It is not correct. Teams lined up on the track here. The jammer referees conferring with their scorekeepers just to make sure that everything was tracked correctly in that jam.
Looks like for this next jam, we're going to have 46 Hawk lined up with 79 Detroit Demon.
All right, folks. 5 seconds call is up. And we're off.
Hawk goes in, Detroit Demon goes out.
Demon met up with the entire Wasatch pack there. That's Rails, Berserker, Eve, and
Taco
Del Mar. Huck taken to the outside by Aphrodite, but I think Aphrodite stepped out as well. Lead jammer now, Supernovas, Detroit Demon. Huck getting a little help from Berserker there to get out of the pack, down on a scoring trip. But Demon right behind calls the jam.
Looks like they're going to line up 89 Apollo and 5, 6, 7, 8 Bully Elliott. And Wasatch is called a timeout.
Coach Booty has something to say to skaters. Once again, thank you to all of our officials here this weekend, especially those who traveled from great distances to come and visit us. Thanks also to all of our volunteers, our medical staff, ticket takers, security people, merch, everyone who makes Roller Derby possible.
Looks like the Wasatch wall is going to start off with a blocker in the box. I believe that is Rails in the box.
That's Shouldn't be too much more time on her penalty, though. She did go towards the end of the jam.
Bully Elliott's out after getting slammed into by Dot.
Paulo trying to take these blockers side to side, get them broken up so he can get by. Hasn't quite gotten there. Nice big hit, though. Throws the shoulder.
Paulo's fighting on that inside line, now that outside line.
Pack has moved just barely into turn 2 now. Bully Elliott back in the pack for another scoring trip. Some pretty tough resistance up there. Rails back on the track now to help out. Paulo finally free. Bully trying to get just a few more points at the end of the jam, getting the call from the bench to call off the jam. She does.
Looks like for this next jam, we're going to line up 47 Bridget with 555, a new face to jamming. I believe that is Kilmore Girls. Nice.
11 points separate these teams. Let's see what these two jammers can do with it. Bridget running up the outside, lead jammer Wasatch. Nice hit there from Tootsie to take Kilmore Girls out to the inside. But Tootsie's going to get a penalty for trouble.
Bridget's through again. That's 4 points for our Wasatch team. It looks like
Helmet cover came off or hit the ground there for Kilmore Girls, guarded by Ariel, but Kilmore was able to retrieve it, get out of the pack, now on a scoring run. Bridget in the pack, 2 to beat, out for 4 more.
Kilmore Girls has now scored 4 points.
Nice step over the turn 1 apex by Kilmore Girls there. 4 more points, Supernovas. Berserker tries to stop Kilmore on the inside line, but cannot do it. Both jammers now together in the open field. 12-12 jam so far, point for point. Bridget runs into the wall of Supernovas, goes down to the inside and calls it off. 1 more point each for these jammers. That is 13-13 jam. It's a great effort by both of those jammers.
All right, on the next lineup, we have 318 Annabelle lined up with 46 Huck for Wasatch. One goes in, one goes out. And it's Huck who's around first.
And Annabelle right out behind her, catching up too. Both jammers hit the pack at the same time. Annabelle gets through a little bit faster. Huck held up at the back of the pack there by Aphrodite and Kuda. Huck having lead, calls it off.
There is now only a 8-point difference between these teams. So Wasatch is going to send out 47 Bridget again. And the Supernovas are going to send out 79. That is Detroit Demon. They're both kind of diving into those walls.
Both jammers knocked out to the inside, but Bridget pushing her own blockers out of the way in the turn 1 corner. Lead jammer Wasatch. Just over halfway through the second period now. Score 146-138. Bridget now on a scoring trip. Bridget out. 4 more points. Demon still stuck in that pack with Wasatch. 1 more to beat and does out now on a scoring trip. Bridget gets a signal from Katzenjammer at the bench, calls off the jam. 4-0 jam, Wasatch. Score now 150-138.
That's a 12-point difference. So next lineup's going to be 89 Apollo for Wasatch, lined up with 11 from the Supernova Knives. One goes in, one goes out, and it's Apollo who's out first.
Manages to stay on his toe stops despite getting a little hip check from Kuda on the way through. Tries the jump, can't do it. Aphrodite gonna take him back, but Aphrodite goes down, so Apollo is free and clear. Engaged now with Kuda at the back of the pack. Pretty tough three wall back there for Apollo to get through. Pivot there, number 50, Shira Badass, giving Apollo some trouble.
Both jammers are stuck behind pretty rough walls out there.
Yep, got that Herzerker, Dop, and Tootsie, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what it looks like.
Aerial assault coming back to try to give a little offense for Apollo. Tries on the outside, but still stuck. Maybe a chance here on the inside. One to beat. And does. Nice little turnaround by Apollo to come through that pack. Loose cannon, number 802, tried the last effort to stop Apollo, but he got by.
Knives making it through for their initial pass, and Apollo has scored 4 more points.
Aphrodite for the Supernovas now going to go take a break for 30. Apollo now being recycled by Shira Badass. Lead him up to our fellow blockers.
Apollo calls it after getting the signal from the coaches in the box. Sorry, the coaches on the bench.
10-1 jam. Advantage Wasatch Roller Derby. 163-139 our score now. Back on the track for Wasatch. Number 46, Huck. 5-6-7-8. Bully Elliott on the track for Supernovas. Slight pack advantage for Wasatch as Aphrodite is still in the box. Huck tries the outside, but Hieronymus Bash says, nope, come back here with us. Again, recycled on the inside this time.
Bully Elliott's held back by that Wasatch wall of infinite loop, Taco Delamore, and
Bully Elliott now out with a little spin move on the apex there. Lead jammer, but star pass to Taco Del Mar. The pivot coming around now the bottom of the track, about half a track behind Bully Elliott. Bully gets the signal from the bench. Call the jam.
4-0 jam for the Supernovas. And we've got the Animal lined up with Bridget. We've got about 10 minutes left in this game. And a 20-point lead difference. They're
Bridget again going side to side with these blockers. Bacon Stripper leading Bridget up to Shira Badass. Bacon Stripper's gonna bring Bridget back. Lead jammer goes to Animal. Now in for her first scoring trip.
Animal is scoring. That's 4 points. And it looks like there has been a cut track call on Bridget.
That's right. Shira Badass managed to get behind Bridget before she noticed. into the box for 30 seconds for the cut. Some really nice offensive blocking there by number 42, Oxytocin, on the Supernovas to get Animal out for another 4 points. Untouched, inside line. Again, some beautiful, just light offense. Not big hits, just being in the right place at the right time to keep the Wasatch blockers busy. NML tucks to the inside there. Another 4. Bridget now out of the box, back in the pack. Big tangle up there. Eve and Bacon wrapped up in one another on the ground. .321 and 626. That's Leia Hurt on you, and Witch slapped up front there, trying to stop Animal from that last scoring pass, but could not. I think that may be, well, I know for one thing that we have a lead change. 167, 163, Supernovas, 24-point jam. I believe that may have been our highest scoring jam of the weekend. I'll have to check with stats on that. Timeout now called by Wasatch. Veronica La Rosa says, "Hi, Maul." Got 26 whole people watching the feed out there. That's the closest thing to a dance party we've seen out here yet. Thank you, Dop and Herzerker, for that entertaining dance. Ready to go again here. Paulo looking for that outside line. Aphrodite says no. Two Supernova blockers going to the penalty box now, giving Apollo some room to go around once again the turn one outside line for Lee Jammer. Apollo now in the pack on a scoring trip. Demon still wrapped up with the Wasatch blockers up in the front there. Apollo through partially on a knee for 4 points. Demon now being recycled in turn 2. Aerial assault knocking some blockers out of bounds and recycling them to mess up the pack a little bit. Also taking Apollo back with them, unfortunately. Call off by Apollo. Was it fast enough? Almost, but only 1 point. 12-1 jam advantage Wasatch. 175, 168, just a little over 5 minutes left on the clock in this game. Still anyone's game. It's 2 games in a row we've had this morning with multiple lead changes. Supernova is going to take a timeout now. First one they've used all game. Make sure to join us for our next game. First whistle, 2 p.m. be Supernovas A team against Happy Valley Derby Molly Morbids, who are likely out doing off-skates warm-ups now. Bam Bam from Happy Valley was kind enough to bring me some breakfast tacos between at halftime here, so a little sustenance. A lot of energy talking and standing around, you know. Bridget knocked to the inside, recycled it back to the pack. Supernovas jammer in the box. See if Bridget can take advantage of this power jam. Pretty heavy resistance up there, though. It's number 42, Oxytocin, and number 421, Scarlet Bronte. Kuda goes down hard, a little slow to get up. Teammate comes back to check. Everything's all good. We're back up and rolling. Lead jammer now goes to Detroit Demon. Skirting around Tootsie there, going to call the jam off. Four more points for Supernovas, bringing our score 175-172. 3 points between these two teams, and just a little bit over 3 minutes on the clock. Huck and Kilmore girls lined up behind the jammer line. And a timeout called. Jam's underway. Taco Del Mar sends Kilmore girls to the inside. Taco, Bip, and Eve there at the back to receive her. Huck working away at the Supernovas blockers at the front. Kilmore girls finds a little room on the inside line. Chased down by Herzerker, but Herzerker can't catch up. Lead jammer, Supernovas. Huck now out two on a scoring trip. Kilmore girls going to call off the jam. Let's see how many she got. 3. Just what we needed to have a brand new game. Tie score 175-175. 2 minutes, 36 seconds left on the clock. Everybody loves a close game. Bully Elliott, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the line for Supernovas. 89, Apollo for Wasatch. Apollo now taken out to the inside, recycled back. Bully tied up with Wasatch blockers. Apollo, one to beat now, 2. Lead jammer, Wasatch roller derby, but Bully Elliott is out and scoring behind about 30 feet back. Pack moving pretty fast now, trying to outrun these jammers. I don't think you're going to outrun Apollo, though. Both jammers now in the pack scoring. Apollo sneaks through underneath. Bully Elliott, little pile up at the back there. Apollo is through. 4 points. Wasatch roller derby. Bully now knocked to the inside by Rails, taken back by Bip and Dop. Helmet cover is off. Apollo now stuck between their own pack and Supernovas, pushing hard against some very strong blockers up here. Minute gone in the jam. We've only had one scoring pass, two now. Apollo, that is total of 8 points. Star pass now to Bacon Stripper in the pack for the Supernovas. Apollo's.
That was a star pass to 928 Bacon Stripper.
Apollo slides around the outside. 12 points total. Apollo now taken back by Shira Badass. Got aerial assault coming in for a little help. Rails bringing Bacon Stripper all the way back to the back of the pack. Dop and Bip set up ahead. Bacon Stripper goes down. They'll let her stand up. Jam is called. "12 seconds left. And a review is called by the Supernovas. Score stands currently at 191, 179, 16-4 jam for Apollo and Wasatch Roller Derby. Let's see what Supernovas coach would like to chat about. I have a feeling I know, but I'm not going to say anything. Was commenting earlier that that Scarlet Bronte's derby name, as I was walking around the venue at halftime, one of our statisticians, Jen from Happy Valley, is actually over there reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I thought that was kind of funny. Nine seconds remaining on the period clock. Not in any way an insurmountable deficit here for the Supernovas to make up. Referees are going to chat about the review here. Coaches from both sides having a little chat. Once again, thank you to Beehive Skate Shop and Einstein's Bagels, two of our sponsors this weekend. Please make sure in the break between games here, go visit Miss Disco Bliss over there at the Hell Skate table. Hell's Bells Design merch for Derby fans. They have some really awesome stuff over there as well. Folks from Under the Umbrella were here yesterday. I don't know if I've seen them today. So Supernovas are looking for a cutting penalty against Apollo, number 89, from the last jam. Guinness is conferring with the coaching staff now. See what the ruling is. As always, we will wait until the head ref has given the information to the coaches before we announce it to the room. Timeout now called by Coach Booty for Wasatch. Just wanting a little bit more time to chat with her skaters. Take a look up at Hometown Throwdown here and see if see what's going on. Ooh, wow. Second period, Black Diaspora Roller Derby playing Angels City. Score currently is 110 to 116 favor of Angels City. 6 minutes, 47 seconds left on the clock in the second period of that game. Well, it looks like they are also in a timeout. Bring you an update on that once our game here is over.
It looks like Wasatch is going to send out Apollo again. Well, the Supernovas are going to send out the Animal, I believe.
Yep. So Apollo's presence on the track and not in the penalty box tells me that Supernovas were denied their review. Both jammers now working the packs front and back. Animal broke past rails there, but not going to get past Bip and Dop. At least not right now. Taking again to the outside. That's aerial assault. Rails and aerial now to the outside. Going to come back. See if Apollo can make it. Take advantage of this. Hot Toady now back behind the Wasatch wall. Maybe give a little bit of offense for Animal. Apollo down hard to the outside. Animal out for lead. Apollo going to play a little bit of defense here. It's not something you see many jammers do, but it is a thing.
Looks like Rails, Dop, and Bip are holding back the Animal.
That is one tough wall. Shira Badass bringing Apollo back. Gonna lead him up. Back to the rest of the Supernovas blockers. Neither jammer making much headway here. Hot Toady going up to give a little bit of offense, some help. Aerial assault chasing out the front. Cannot catch Animal. 4 points. Supernovas. Apollo now out on a scoring pass now, 2. Pack moving up into turn 1, speeding up a little bit.
And
let's see what the jam ref says. Scorekeeping team and the jam refs verifying their point totals.
looking like the score is going to be in favor of Wasatch Roller Derby.
Well, as always, wait until the score goes final. Screw Lucy's like, I ain't waiting. I'm going to the locker room. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Wasatch Roller Derby, 191. California Derby Galaxy Supernovas B Team, 186. Come out and congratulate both these teams for a hard-fought battle. Nice job, both teams. Bad Cop and I will be back here at 2 o'clock. Oh, Bad Cop actually has to go and be a responsible sibling, and that's okay. So we got about 45 minutes, and we're good to go.